Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So, kinda have to rush through the replays this week because I kinda forgot time zone changes. Daylight savings time ending means things end 1 hour earlier. So, we gotta go. And I don't have too much time, so we won't go through too much, but first few matches here is people thinking Brahmamon's C-skill doesn't affect them, and well, we all know what's gonna happen when that comes into play. Even Pulse Tie doing its job there, but of course the problem is he's still going to proc his special anyways, and he didn't even need it to kill in that instance. There's sudden panic trolling and whatnot, and then the rest of the potatoing continues. This layout was meant to be a meme, using double Bramamond. It's okay if people aren't prepped against him, but if they are, then well, free win. So, super similar themes across the board, couple flames this week. I mean, you would expect people would at least understand that Flame doesn't help her allies when against Bramamond, but yeah, this team's running double air, so stronger res stats, but we're up against Luna and whatnot. So Flame isn't helping here again. Even have the meme, like even if Claude survives there, the next Bramamon has Astra. So, yeah. But because Flame is not fast enough, Bramamon cannot auto-double using Void Tome. So they're able to get some stuff there, but at this point it's already over because in the back lurking we still have Chrom and Astra memeing around. Again, this time Bramamon's able to double. I'm guessing that was probably a natural double, but Chrom is just still sitting in the back, so, and Seliph exists. That's just too much here, so that's a Ripperonis. But yeah, this defense is definitely more psychological warfare than anything, because double Bramamond. People definitely know how strong he can be, but sometimes people overrate how powerful he is. Like, he does have pretty solid attack, and he has low attack res, Void Tome, and of course the main thing, impenetrable dark. But honestly, low attack res carries him even harder than that. But yeah, they're just gonna end turn. Totally makes sense, except I guess not yet. They're just breaking some structures and waiting here. There's Panic Manor, so I guess they gotta worry about that. They're probably just gonna chuck them in, I would imagine. They're just breaking all the structures so they can just safely hit end turn and what could possibly go wrong kind of a deal. Here comes Fawn Leon hitting end turn. And well, I mean, there's nothing too special here. It's just Frost Breath from Nils, debuffing a tiny bit, and of course there's bonus doubler and whatnot. So, we're gonna see an attack from Nils for obvious reasons. Have Astra for the memes, but Bramamon doesn't do a lot of base damage in the first place, so it doesn't actually do that much. But the Bramamons do deal a decent chunk of damage. And unfortunately, with how this terrain is set up, Chrom isn't going to use the Change Fate in that instance. So they can just go ahead and attack like so. And they're just gonna run. The only problem with this is that Seliph exists. And the Change Fate exists. So now there's a Seliph with an Ignis ready and Vantage range. And they don't have a hardy bearing source. Pretty expected there that Fallen Leon should be able to live Chrom there. Especially when he's not at 100% HP, gets an extra 6 attack and defense, which is definitely useful. But Seliph is still chilling there, so they're just going to sack Leon here, I guess. And they end up surrendering. But from here on out, it's just standard stuff that happens when I climb. I just face more heavily invested units. It's a common theme we'll see. And I mean, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 6. Not even plus 10. 0 out of 10, Capo. But yeah, we face a lot of people like this, and this generally should just work pretty well. But honestly, we actually almost did it just because Crom. But yeah, we don't have enough firepower for this. Turn 1 Astra on Bramon be way better. Like, honestly, I'm legitimately, Bramon's going to be bonus events coming up pretty soon. So I'm legit just gonna run quick and pulse seal so I can have turn 1 Astra for the memes. The problem is all these debuffs, like attack debuffs from Tamari, which is super popular. Sabotage attack on Milla, it comes in her base kit, so you know. I mean, Hector was doubling there anyways, so it legit does not matter that Bolt Tower went off. We're just gonna get the full heal off of Healing Tower, sort of. Nils gets to do 3 damage, so he actually did something. Seliph, like usual, is going to do nothing against Hector. That's super common. And gonna get to the dance, so we get the potato. And Crom does a good amount of damage. Like, honestly, I could not expect much more out of Crom. Because when you have that much HP, you can afford to take 58 damage. Like, if he didn't have the triple mythics, yeah, he's not living that. He's just not, just because he doesn't have the HP. But against Luna, there's some anti-synergy and stuff going on with Luna, but realistically, it's not like Deadeye would have been a good pick either. But in general, yeah, we're not ready for stuff like this yet. I really would want a meme with turn 1 Astra on Bramon, but against a Hector like this, who's going to have 49 res at least, because of Moltet neutralizing the penalties, and then he also debuffs Bramon's attack by 6, Astra definitely loses a lot of value, so it's not really a smart idea, it's just a meme idea. Because you need to have an attack stat in order for Astra to actually do something useful. And especially when you're up against damage reduction, like Astra's niche right now is just being able to dish out so much damage that even if someone has damage reduction, they can still die. Which is kind of like a point of where like Legendary Dimitri and Brave Dimitri, that's where their low res and low HP come into play. Because if you have like 30 res and Bramamon has, I don't know, 80 attack, which is totally feasible, it's definitely a thing. You know, that 50 base damage with that Mr. Astra goes up to like 125 damage or something. I don't really care too much, but the point is that even after the damage reduction, if you don't have an HP stat, you are not winning there. But here it's just Reinhardt doing Reinhardt things. I mean, it's nothing mind-blowing here. And I'm sure they understand how the AI works, maybe. If they didn't, then well, that's just how the AI works in terms of pathing, so it's not like I was going to do much about it. But now they have their special ready up on Reinhardt, and the main thing here is Tactics Room is on Crom, or hitting Crom. So they're just chilling, waiting till the last turn because they're trying to grab the ether structures as well. But they're gonna go ahead and barely pick up the kill with Reinhardt there. But it's a pretty strong Reinhardt, and of course he wasn't at 100% HP anymore, which is the big thing, because again, when you're not at 100% HP, you get an extra free 6 attack, aka the 6 attack you originally had. Which is a lot of damage when you're doubling. So here we have a Geese, pretty solid. George with some support and stuff. Not entirely sure why they have a noontime, I guess. And pretty standard stuff. Milla and Layla also with pulse smoke, so I wonder what's going to happen. But yeah, this team has like no damage output. It just has no damage output aside from the specials, and Ramamon just having an attack stat and stuff. So of course, because of Disarm Trap, they're able to just safely do that. Just a solid play. And with Layla and Geese, they can just casually walk in. They've already gotten a pulse smoke off once, and obviously Chrom isn't outspeeding Geese anytime soon, so it feels bad there. And you know, Chrom still has an okay attack stat. It's just that he's nowhere near fast enough to deal with it. And of course, Seliph just does not have damage output. Like, even with weapon triangle, he'll struggle. But you can see there, Chrom did something. But of course, Seliph just has such a large HP pool. And same with like Nils and Sylvia, that people can just get free heals off of them. And they can take out Seliph easily, because it's not like he actually threatens any damage there. And they can just go ahead and fling up their extra support, but it's not like they need it. Because, I mean, they did need it to pick up the 1-round KO there. But there's pulse smoke and whatnot because of the drive attack, and Daniel made bow, whatnot. But yeah, that's just what happens when you're up against plus 10 units and Layla, because just the ability to snipe off units, and especially the disarm trap, it's the ability to snipe off an extra unit for your carry. It's just, can't understate how useful that is in most scenarios. There are some scenarios where you're going to run into an issue of you need that extra unit for maybe extra healing or whatever, or to potato around with the AI. But here, this is just the consequence of my bolt or catapult not being max level yet. You're just going to be able to wait till turn 3 and just get a solid turn in. Nothing mind-blowing here. I use Bolt Tower level 7 myself on offense, and it's incredibly strong. So again, this is of course a variant of Air Force, running Fury, Disarm Trap, and usually Savage Blow or Hardy Bearing are pretty popular picks. The whole idea is you can just free snipe 2 units as long as they don't murder you, and after 2 engagements you're in Wings of Mercy range. So again, I generally set up my defenses so there's something wrong with them. And for this setup, besides the fact that the punish game is hot garbage, if someone like hit and runs, there's basically 0 punish game. It's like a tiny bit. But one of them is a ranged unit being sandwiched in by structures like this, so you can just get trapped like this. And here, I mean, funny enough, because Navarre doesn't actually have too high of an attack stat, but luckily they have air around to do some actual damage, but still not too much damage. So yeah, that was funny. But Chrom obviously would have been able to kill air if he got to counter, but that's the whole point. They can just go ahead and chill and multi-attack. This person just didn't even want to face my defense. Chances are probably because of the double Bramamond. Not gonna, or maybe Chrom. Some people just aren't ready for Chrom. That's why he's there. But he really doesn't actually ever do much. Because most of the time he's either just gonna potato into the carry, and again, another just plus 10 carry. Not as much defense as I usually see on Brunyas, but I mean, consider using Fortress Defense Res. Makes sense, and of course the whole intent is just boost your visible stats and probably nom debuffs like Shrines, so you can proc your tome effects to get the extra +4 to all stats and neutralize those penalties at the same time. It's all free real estate. So just go ahead and go in for the attack and Pulse Smoke again, easy clap. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens when people have Pulse Smoke. A lot of infantry pull setup, especially stuff like my setup in particular, because there's a lot of central points where you can just target everything. So here it's just going to be a case of, well, no one can really do any damage. Everyone does a tiny bit of damage, but the problem is it's just not enough. It's barely not enough, but that's how it works out, and that's how it rolls. I don't know if they calced it out. Kinda doubt it, but they did props, because of course it's close, but the whole idea is even if you don't know for sure, you can always just approximate. And if you aren't like exactly living by one in your approximation, or like 2 or whatever, you can be pretty certain that you're probably living. Unless you're approximating so hard that you might as well not be, because it's not really telling you anything. Yeah, Self isn't going to be doing anything here, so it's just an easy win for them at this point. And there we go. Pretty much the story of this week. I forgot to mention actually, on offense, didn't do too well. Definitely had a couple matches where I just got meme countered, because my offense team generally can beat a good chunk of teams, but the problem is if there's like a competent red unit, or just any unit of some sort of competent damage in bulk, everything goes, and Bolt Tower is not an option for me, then, well, it's just ripperonis. Like, I faced, I think it was ARD Defense Res Kyria with I think it was turn 1 Glacius, either 1 cooldown, or I'm pretty sure it was turn 1 Glacius, but yeah, it was never going to end well there. I haven't seen this replay yet, so this is interesting. They go in for the attack, which is, it's fine, because Brave Edelgard barely picks up the kill there, or barely survives, and she barely survives there as well. Totally not rigged in any way, but it's not like it really matters, because it's not like she's absolutely maxed out. Not even +10, 0 out of 10 Kappa. But yeah, that was definitely close for them. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough attack. That's how it goes. And it's just over at this point, because again, the intentional setup of having Chrom in the corner like this is so people can do things like this. And they barely pick up the 1-round KO there, even though she's not even at 100%. Granted, running bonds for the obvious reason of Astral Breath. So that's pretty cool. I like that team. But anyways, yep. I don't remember exactly how many units I dropped. I know I dropped at least 3 kills. Like, I got 3 of my units killed across matches. I think they were all on single matches. It just so happens, again, it's a recurring theme. Usually when I get matched up against ridiculous teams, it's not a double match. Totally not rigged matchmaker. But yeah, defense score pretty garbo, but I mean, it's just 2 dragon flowers. I'm not going to worry too much about that. At the end of the day, the numbers of dragon flowers I have is going up, and that's all I can really care about nowadays. But as usual, dropping out of interval 21, nothing too mind-blowing there. We just don't have any harmonized heroes to use, so there's nothing we can really do to compete to stay in interval 21. And going back up to tier 21, easy peasy. Just random matches this week because water season. We can just abuse blessings. I was using Sharena this week. She definitely had a hard time scoring some bonus kills when it was like there were no red units available. Because she had to pretty frequently deal with like Brave Hectors and whatever, and that wasn't fun. But Arena Assault, pretty decent run this week, but definitely not top 50. Top 50 is pretty ridiculous this week. Very high cutoff. This is not very common, regardless of the. It's probably because of the bonus season. Not gonna lie. So there's probably just because Legendary Edelgard's bonus and it's fire season. So there's just literally more people who can have higher scoring defenses. That's my thought. So it's easier to get matched up into higher scoring teams. Because like you can see at the very top, some of these scores up here, you don't see these scores too often because the highest score I think is 5,376 or something. It's very hard to get 764s because, well, people don't even put up defense teams with those kind of scores. But yep, pretty much at this point that'll be it for now. But here in Mjolnir Strike we're dropping out of Astra season according to plan like usual. But you can see here, we're actually pretty close to staying. The margin's literally 2 points higher, and it's consistently been about like this every season because it's Astra season. So I could definitely, once I actually finish merging up Duma, because he's only at +6 right now, we could definitely get some stuff going because that will get us literally 4 more points. That's a lot. So that would auto clinch us for Astra, and then our main challenge would be staying also in tier 21 Dark, and that would probably come from me +10ing Peony maybe in December. We'll see how good the focus is for that banner. That's what I'm currently stockpiling for. No guarantees I'm actually going to summon on it. It's just preliminary because Peony's on it. And there's literally nothing else slated as far as I know for blue, so I have no idea. But anyways, we'll be back when the results drop in. Whoops, I accidentally tapped on Ether Raids, but top 6k and pretty standard stuff. So, yep, another season of this stuff. Not looking forward to Astra offense. That's going to be a nightmare. Gotta replace Julia with someone. Crown's really not going to really do much. I don't know who I'm going to put there. Maybe just put Legendary Core in there again just for the memes. Because it's not going to go well. She's not going to do that much damage, and it's... I guess, there's a couple of things I could try, but I probably will just do that for the heck of it. Wait, we can yoink that out and put in Bright Shrine. This Dark Shrine is bonus, so we can get some mileage there. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the setup. Then Resonant Battles, dropping out. And hopefully you can make it back up to 21, but I mean, it's never guaranteed. Arena, we better have promoted. And there we go. I actually don't remember the incoming bonus rotation. I think it's pretty bad for us. So I'm not sure if we're going to try and stay, but pretty solid Arena Assault record, or ranking. And again, nothing too special in Mjolnir Strike. Just so close yet so far from staying in tier 21 during Astra season. But even if I could do that, probably wouldn't want to, just because I guess it wouldn't really matter. Either way, I would be staying, yeah. Actually, it would matter? I don't know. I'm not gonna think about it. But, yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!